is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Oh, you were killing my boy Ferronis there for a while, man. He's my pickleball partner. He couldn't get Chateaubriand out of his mouth.
I know. Well, he didn't even know about the damn steak anyway. So because he was going to Tampa, he's never been to Burns. So I go, gotta go to Burns.
Absolutely.
I know. And then I told them the best steak in the cow is the Chateaubriand, which is the finest part of the fillet. It's juiciest, most tender part.
Absolutely.
And he had tried escargot recently, and I said, bro, the escargot there is also off the chain too. You can try it. So that's why. But he's been there a couple days, did not go to Burns, dropped the ball.
Very, very disappointed in him. I'm gonna have to give him crap now, brother, for sure.
Yeah. That's
my favorite place in Tampa. I went there so many times with Susan Miller-Dagnan. Whenever the Canes were playing USF, we made it like a tradition. You have to go.
Yeah, every time I go to Tampa, I stop at Burns.
And people don't know about the dessert room. Like that whole dessert room thing. Oh, dude.
God. It's like a Yellow Pages, your menu. Like items on it. I've never seen that. And then the booths, depending on what kind of big your group is or small, and they can accommodate you either way and make it nice and, it's, pretty cool, quiet, and you have your own radio and everything. And it's pretty cool. It's an experience, and when you tour the kitchen and the wine cellar and all that kind of stuff. So I told him about that because, but unfortunately he has dropped. He Sammy Smithed it and dropped the ball. Unfortunately,
He's too young. I'm gonna have to take him to Tampa one time and take him there myself.
By the way, I can't do the Sammy Smith anymore. That's like that reference is too old. Who's the latest fumbler that is as notorious? I mean, Sammy Smith fumbled twice into an end zone. It's hard to beat that. You know what I mean? Like that is.
Yeah, I can't think of one right off the top of my head, man. In terms of NFL guys, I'm trying to think of who's had any notorious fumbles like that.
This is why, doing radio for 34 years now, some of your references, they get old, but you want to more. Like I can go from Spicoli to Snoop to Wiz Khalifa when I'm talking about a stoner, and I can use the Wiz Khalifa reference like I could use Spicoli back in the day. Right. But they all don't get updated. And see, this is one of them. We don't have a local fumbler to be updating over Sammy Smith, man.
Nobody like that. Not to that degree, for sure.
So this is my dilemma when I do talk shows. Right? That it's like some of my references might be a little dated, but it's because I can't find a fresh reference for it.
It's true.
It's rough. It's rough. All right. So what are you saying about FSU and G Tech? By the way, the last time we talked about it, remember I told you, I said, I might take G Tech. It was plus 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone down a whole point. Right now, FSU's up only 10.5. So I'm already up a point there from I got a bargain the other day when I took it at 11.
You did. I got FSU winning by 10.
I don't know if I'm going to win or anything, but it's the first game. So what are you thinking about this game?
I got FSU winning by 10. I had to do predictions for this week for the Athletic, and I think it'll be a game in the fourth quarter because Georgia Tech has the offense. They've got some playmakers on that side of the ball. They got a 1,000-yard running back. Their quarterback is probably just outside of the top 5 in the ACC, in my opinion. Their issue is defense and stopping the run in particular. And Florida State, I think they're going to be a really, really good running team. But, Brent Key is slowly but surely trying to upgrade that side of the ball. And first game overseas in a place like Ireland, I just think there's going to be a little bit of a struggle for Florida State's offense with all those new playmakers to get rolling. So I think they'll win.
Have any Irishmen on the Seminoles? Because then they might get drunk and then not be able to participate in the game.
Yeah, it's it's funny because I saw a clip this morning when I got up of a bunch of FSU players doing the Irish jig and dancing in the streets there in Ireland. So I don't know that they have any real Irishmen on the team, but they certainly have some guys that can do the jig. That's for sure.
Okay. All right. Were they wearing skirts and
no skirts, but they were
bagpipes?
None of those bagpipes, none of that stuff. But it was entertaining. It looked pretty good. They did a pretty good job. It's on the internet. You can find it.
Okay. All right. Canes wise, what's the latest news wise this week? Anything to be concerned about for next week, injury wise or anything?
No, I don't think there's any serious injuries with the team. I think that this is a relatively healthy team. I mean, you're always going to have bumps and bruises and guys dealing with stuff through camp, scrimmages, etc. But nothing that requires surgery that I know of in terms of missing any major time. There may be a guy or two who you look at yourself on August 31st during the middle of the game and say, where's this guy at? Well, maybe he's suspended for the opener, right? Mario who knows what kind of off-season penalties and whatnot will come down. But in terms of injuries, I don't think there's anything serious with the team.
Okay. All right. Good stuff there. What else are you working on in the Athletic Canes wise so folks can check you out?
Yeah, we just came out with our top 100 list for transfers. Bruce Feldman, Sam Kahn, and I, and we've got 4 Canes in the top 50 among the transfers. And this is all based on talking to more than 100 people across college football on staffs, coaches.
I can't imagine Cam Ward was on that list.
He might be top 10. I'm not going to give anything away, but he might be top 5 even. Might be top 5 among who we rank there. Guys that'll have the biggest impacts this season. So, yeah, I mean, I think without question, man, I think he's a Heisman dark horse. I wouldn't say he's a Heisman favorite. I think the quarterback at Georgia, I think the quarterback at Oregon, certainly Ohio State has some guys that are going to get a lot of love because those are going to be the best teams, right? We're expecting them to be the top 3 or 4 teams in the country. But if Miami is a top 10 team and Cam Ward is having a great season, maybe he's got a chance to get to the Heisman ceremony. We'll see.
Are we putting too much hype and too much expectations on the kid? I kind of feel bad for him, in that sense that, man, we have, or not me, but people are, it's almost like they're expecting him to be the Messiah.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of pressure on him to deliver, but I'll say this, there were a lot of teams that wanted Cam Ward. Florida State, for instance, he was their number 1 choice. Ohio State definitely was interested in Cam Ward. To me, I think he was probably the second most sought after quarterback to enter the portal, if not number 1 nationally when he decided to enter. The issue with him was ultimately, is he going to go pro? And the fact that he decided to come back to school, it was sort of fortunate for Miami because Florida State didn't want to wait around. They didn't want to risk waiting for letting DJ Alzugaray potentially go somewhere else. And then once Cam decided, hey, I'm going pro, he announced that, everybody sort of moved on, which opened the door for Miami to kind of come in the back door and win the bidding war for him. So, but yes, there's a lot of pressure on him to deliver. Do I think he's capable? Absolutely. I think you look at his film and you say, man, he was playing on a 5-7 team where he led the team in rushing touchdowns and rushing attempts, threw for, well over 3,000 yards. Didn't really have, he had a couple good receivers, but nothing great. He's got much more around him now. He's a year older. He's hungry because he wants to prove to NFL scouts that he's a first-round pick. I think everything is set up for him to have a big year.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. Let's hope because man, we have put him on this pedestal of expectations. And
what comes with it now, but this is what's going to be every year. It's going to be every year like this for guys that transfer.
But it's not about him. It's about the entire fan base and everybody waiting for the entire program to get out of the 20+ year funk that it's been.
For sure.
And so we're putting it all on him. And that's just not fair, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, oh, yeah, he's the guy that's going to carry us out of the abyss and into the promised land. And that's just not fair, dude. And that's why I just kind of I feel for the kid in that sense. I understand what he has to do and all that. It's just, man, there's a lot of hype around him, a lot.
There is. But I will say he does have a good supporting cast around him, right? Like Damian Martinez was another huge pickup for them. They got a bunch of guys on defense. So it's not just like, hey, he's the one guy that they've got. In the end, he's the quarterback, and he's always going to face that. Every quarterback is going to face that pressure, right? If the team sucks or they lose games that they shouldn't, people are going to always blame it on the quarterback and the coach. That's just the way football works. But at least here, I think he's got a much better supporting cast. I'm willing to bet DJ Uiagalelei at Florida State wishes he could trade wide receivers with Cam Ward. Hell, he probably wishes he could trade running backs to get Damian Martinez, who's a proven 1,000-yard back. So I don't feel that bad for Cam Ward, and he's making a lot of money. And that's the other aspect of this, Before, we used to be able to say things like, well, what is that? That kid's not making any real money, right? At least at Miami, you could say that. Maybe not at other SEC schools. But, like, you couldn't really – now these guys are all highly paid, right? So do we sit here and just say, oh, he's a kid, he shouldn't be having to do it? No. He's making a lot of money. He made the conscious decision to come to Miami. Put him under the pressure. You got to deliver.
I'm with you there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, Caneswear. Brett and the people at Caneswear are just absolutely amazing. It is heaven for us sports fans. Anything and everything pretty much with a Canes logo on it. Amen. Tomorrow, Inter Miami is in action. You can get Inter Miami hats, shirts, jerseys, kits, that is, Messi shirts, all kinds of stuff. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. You can get Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, World Championship gear. They've got it, man. The shirts, the hats. I bought a beautiful hat. I got it in the other room. I can't show it to you, but it is awesome. They got all kinds of great stuff. They got flags for your cars. They've got neon signs for your bar at home, all kinds of stuff, man. Go check it out online. If you order over $99, you'll get free shipping, and use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. And if you go personally, use our code BIG010. They're at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Go say hi to Brett and Jeff and John and all the great people out there at Caneswear.com.
This is the